Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm showing you guys how to get this very natural makeup, but here's the catch. It is sweat-proof, waterproof. If you want to go to the beach and take some pictures and be in your bikini and maybe wade in the water and all that stuff, you should be perfectly fine with this makeup. Your pictures will come out bomb. You'll look good no matter if you're in the water or out of the water. If you just want to go out one night and it's a very hot night or anything like that, I feel like this makeup will really persevere and get through. So I have like a bunch of little tips in there. Like there's a lot of different tips that I throw at you in this video. So hopefully you guys can grasp some of them and hopefully they can help you, because I think that this makeup is bomb for this time of year. It's summer. I feel like it's summertime. It's technically still spring, but it's summertime. It's already summer, guys. So if you want to learn how to get this, then please keep watching. Alrighty, so I'm starting out with no makeup on at all. Obviously, you can probably tell. But I'm going to go ahead and put on some sunscreen. Now, if you are trying to be outside and sweating or whatever the case is with this makeup, put on sunscreen before you start anything, because we need to protect our skin. If you take anything from this, put on sunscreen. I am not a priming person at all, but if you are going to be sitting out sweating, using a primer will actually help. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this matte putty primer, which I've heard is amazing. I've used on a couple people. I just don't love primers on myself. I get nervous that they're going to break me out. Apply this in the places that I get oily. It doesn't look like it's done anything yet, but we'll see. Now for the skin, which is usually the part that people kind of worry about the most in makeup. If you are trying to wear makeup out, it's usually just because you want to perfect your complexion. I would say use a medium to full coverage concealer just on spots that you would like to cover. Only on those areas. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer just on those areas. And I like to cover that area because I get a lot of darkness. So now that's literally it. Those are the spots I'm putting concealer, and I'm going to dab it in. Alright, and then with anything left over, I'm just going to go around my face and just kind of blend everything into itself. I'm speaking complete nonsense in that clip, but basically what I wanted to let you guys know is to try to find a foundation that is very much skin-like, so if your makeup does run or if you do sweat through it, it looks still very natural as much as it possibly can, being makeup. So yeah, that's it. But what I have found is this Fenty Beauty foundation is very good. It's a little bit dark for me, so I'm just going to be putting this kind of just to even out my skin tone in these areas, but nothing more. So it's obviously dark for me. It matches my forehead, because my forehead's like 20 shades darker than I am. So, and again, I'm just going with my beauty blender kind of everywhere just to blend everything in. And just whatever's left over, I'm bringing down onto my neck. So that is the skin basically all done. Now obviously if you have a lot of acne or acne scarring, you might want a little bit more coverage than this, and that is okay. I would just still try to keep it to the minimum as much as possible. I know that that is hard for a lot of people. I sometimes get very insecure about my acne scars, but either way, you are beautiful and your skin is beautiful no matter what you think about it, because we're all just so perfect. So next for blush. Now I would suggest to use a cream blush. Hold on, I'm scratching my knee. Okay, I would suggest to use a cream blush, or in my case, I'm going to go ahead and use a lipstick, because lipsticks are actually made to be worn for a long period of time, especially matte ones. And I'm just going to put it where I'm already red. I went to the beach a couple days ago, so I'm just going to go over that area. Just with this L'Oreal Color Rich Matte Lipstick. I'm just going to bring that up on my face. And also using a matte lipstick would probably be best for a look like this, because again the staying power will be more intense and it'll help you look less greasy throughout the day or whatever it is that you want. So that is just the blush on. Again, I am not making sense in this next clip at all. Basically, what I was trying to explain is that using cream products will be better because as your skin heats up or warms up, whether it's sweating or whatever the case is, it'll work more seamlessly with cream products as opposed to using a lot of powder, because if you put too much powder and then you sweat, it'll become more cakey and kind of create a different consistency. So using cream products, even though it seems like you should use more matte products, is actually very helpful when trying to keep your makeup on for a long time, especially if you're going to be sweating. That makes any sense at all. I hope it does. So this is what the skin is looking like. I'm so sorry if my voice sounds weird right now. I feel like I have like a frog in my throat. Alrighty, so that should be good for all the cream products. I feel like my skin already looks very beautiful, and I genuinely don't feel like anything is heavy on my skin, so I feel like if I do sweat or if I go out and I get my face wet for some reason, it's not going to come off. So the next part is pretty important. I would suggest that you go in with an all-over powder. So I'm using this Item Beauty Powder Hour, which will mattify just enough because there is powder, but it's nothing heavy. So that is that. You can still definitely see like my skin, but I feel like it's a lot more matte. And now I'm going to go in with just a little bit of translucent powder on a wet sponge. Make sure it's wet because it'll kind of help it blend into those cream products, and just add it where I get oily and where I tend to sweat more. Just in those areas. Again, if you are over powdering, when your skin sweats, it will look cakey and gross. So we do not want to over powder, even though that sounds like the opposite of what you want to do. Because if you're really trying to like stay outside, you'll be like, oh, let me just put a lot of powder on so it stays on. That is not the case as much as it seems like it. Next is bronzer. I like this NARS bronzer 100% because I feel like it does blend in with your skin. It won't leave your skin being cakey. If you sweat in it, I feel like it doesn't sweat off. These have only been my experiences with it. Maybe you guys have experienced something different, but for me, the NARS Laguna bronzer works amazingly. So I'm just going to do that on my forehead, on the sides of my nose, and that is it for bronzer. Now for eyes. I don't suggest doing a full eye makeup look if you're going to be going outside and sitting in the sun or going to the beach or something like that. I don't think it makes too much sense to do that, but it's definitely okay to. But what I suggest to do is a palette that isn't super chalky. So there'll be some blushes. There'll be some makeup products that when you go like this, they lift up and they kind of go everywhere, and try to use colors that won't separate or don't have a lot of talc in them. So I'm just going to grab that shade that I kind of messed up there and just put that into my crease. I'm just going to do a very basic look. Just going to wing it out from the line. And if you are a wing person, if you want a wing, I would highly recommend to use an eyeshadow, not like a liquid liner, because you're going to kind of be playing yourself if you use liquid liner because that comes off quick. So I would suggest to try to just do a very light, subtle line with just some eyeshadow. So you'll still get that kind of effect that winged liner gives to you, but just not as intense, and if it wears off kind of naturally. So as you can see, I still get that winged effect, but I'm not using liquid liner. Alrighty, so now for brows. One thing that I can recommend endlessly if you really just want your eyebrows to stay on your face is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade. This is like an old school, but it'll always kind of work. I don't love the way that this makes my eyebrows look, so I'm personally not going to use it. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Item Beauty Brow Chow. One thing I can definitely do for you guys though is how to keep your eyebrows kind of in place. Now a lot of people use brow gels and all that stuff. I have found the ultimate thing to keep these very thick eyebrows in place is got to be glued. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take some on my finger. I usually just do this, run it through my brows, and my eyebrows will not move at all. And you can definitely use an eyebrow brush. I use my fingers because okay, so that is all of that done. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to lashes and lips, and we are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my eyelash curler and really curl these lashes. Alright, so those are my eyelashes curled, and now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Mascara, the waterproof version though, because that's what we're going for. And I will say that I have tested out this mascara. This one is waterproof. And like I said, it holds a curl, which I love. So that is the mascara on. I do very thin coats of mascara. That is also a trick to do, is don't do anything too crazy with your mascara, because mascara, even if it is waterproof, it will start to flake off a little, especially if you wear it for long hours, or it still could smudge even though it is waterproof, depending on how oily your lids get. So try to get chunks out of there, because those chunks will be the things to kind of affect that. Now, this should be kind of self-explanatory, but using a lip stain. So this is just a liquid lip stain that I found on Amazon, but I know that Benefit has one and a couple other brands have it. Pixie has one. And I'm just gonna apply it. And as you can see, it's already stained, and those dots where I put it. So that's how you know it works. And now I would suggest to go in with this a lip pencil and just kind of fill in your lips wherever else. I'm just using a MAC one. I think most lip pencils these days are made pretty much the same. You can get the same quality in any little pencil. And that is it, guys. This is the makeup. I will for sure be sweat proof. Now the last step would be to set your face. I highly recommend using the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I think everyone knows that that is like a holy grail setting spray if you want your makeup to stay on all night. I wore it for my prom. I wear it for big events. I don't have any right now because I'd used it on a client and I ran out. I've heard though that Rare Beauty, you know, Miss Selena Gomez's brand, came out with a setting spray that is literally like hairspray for your face. So you can go ahead and do that. And as a dancer, you can put hairspray on your face. Don't recommend that because, you know, you don't know how it's going to react with your skin. But that is a trick, to put hairspray on your face when you're done with your makeup. But what you can do, and what I like to do, is if I'm going to be going out like this, is I like to keep like this Item Beauty little powder, just a powder, or like some blot sheets or something, just to keep that area nice and oil free, whatever area that you tend to get oily in. But this is probably the most sweat proof, most waterproof makeup that you can get, in my opinion. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you join my little tiny channel family. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.